But my moral anchor is not suspect to man's changing his moral values. Yeah, my moral anchor is fixed. That's why it's called an anchor. It doesn't change. I have a standard that I can use anywhere I go in the world.
Sometimes you have to change, don't you?
No.
Sometimes society changes. Look,
no,
you're standing today, Hamza, with
doesn't
me.
change me, mate.
You with me, and we're talking there, right? But we're standing, as we said before, in a place of execution, okay? We no longer execute on the Tyburn tree and whatever.
Right.
Why? Because we have evolved as a society. We saw the hand drawing and quartering.
What that is, what you've just said now. Well, if this is true, why do we celebrate hand-drawn and quartering Guy Fawkes every November?
Because we're symbolising...
We're celebrating
a historic issue to do with the Catholic...
You're celebrating the murder of a man who was hung, cut open, had his intestines pulled out while he was alive, and then cut into pieces.
Yeah,
and you celebrate it every year, and you encourage your children to celebrate it every year.
It's very cold here tonight, isn't it? We have got.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Ian just wanted to say.
I just want to say something to you, Hamza, right? I just want to say, what I'm saying is, you and I will have a common denominator between us from our human side, yeah? So if you say to me, Ian, I think it's ridiculous that people get drunk and they do it, do you know, I'm going to say I agree with you, because I have seen the problems of drink in my family, and some of my friends have died of alcoholism, so I'm with you. I am your best friend on that. When it comes to issues of drugs, I totally agree with you. Paedophilia, abuse, bullying, everything. You'll be surprised. Right? Gambling as well. I'm not a gambler. I once saw these guys in Leicester Square. They said, where you go to the casino? I said, you're joking, mate.
Sexual immorality?
I'm against all of that.
Quite close.
But hang on a minute. That doesn't mean because I didn't believe in your religion or whatever that we're not got that common denominator. I've got it from
interest.
Hang on.
Usury.
Oh, usury. Well, now we're getting to a good one. Because it depends how you class usury. If you would class usury maybe from the point of monetary extortions and all sorts of things, and loan interest. I know what you're talking about. For me, loan interest has worked for me within my life. That's the way I am, because I've been in that business. So I would find that probably okay. You may not. I get it. What I'm saying is, you and I could have quite easily have a proper conversation about the two of us as human beings, and that's what I'm saying. Our histories or whatever, it doesn't matter. As two really nice human beings together.
But one more minute, go on.
Hang on. I would agree with you on a lot of things, but it's not because you're a Muslim or I'm an atheist or whatever. It's just because we have that human common denominator. So if you want to suddenly go, oh, it's because I'm a Muslim I'm doing these things.
It is.
What are you doing differently that I'm not doing as an atheist that you're doing?
Recognising God exists.
Right, okay, which I don't, I accept that, yeah.
Right.
Okay, right.
Following God's guidance in all of my life, in every aspect.
Which I don't, I accept.
Right, in my social actions, in my family, and all of it. All right. And I believe that everything I do, from what God teaches me, is a benefit to me. And everything I see that has been prohibited by God, or I've been warned away from, I see other people becoming victims of.
So why is my life I haven't had a problemed life, so what have I done? Am I not being punished for not being, for example, a Muslim?
Well, because we're told...
As far as I'm concerned, I'm a good person. Forget the old before, that's just human.
Okay. First of all...
And I'll apologise for that.
Unfortunately, you're not your own judge to determine whether you're good or not, unless you're...
Well, I believe I am. I have to use my intuition.
You have to... but you have to have criteria to measure your...
Before I might have thought I was a bit silly, when you and
What's your standard of right and wrong?
My standard of right and wrong is to treat people around.
No, what's your standard? What's your moral anchor?
My moral is to love my family, to protect my family, to...
No, what's your moral anchor? What's the source of your moral anchor?
The source of my moral anchor is from my family and my interaction with the world, how I've learned from bad and good, and sometimes I've gone wrong and so I get slapped.
No, but if it's moral anchor, so for example, what's your views on homosexuality?
My views on homosexuality is, from a personal point of view, I am not a homosexual, so it goes against what I believe from my natural order. However, as a human being within this society, being really open with you, I will be totally tolerant under my pretense that I do, as a person, I believe a live and let live philosophy.
Okay.
I haven't got a problem.
So you think homosexuality
I'm not a homosexual. I don't know whether... so I can't say whether homosexuality is an illness within someone, as people might say, or is it just that's the way they are? Because I'm not one, so I can't clarify that. I have to...
No, but you can have an opinion on it.
I have got an opinion, and I'm saying saying
It's
I
all right.
accept it.
Now, I guarantee you, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have accepted it. 20 years ago, I'd say.
Possibly, if
I
I'm
would
being
say
really honest.
No, that tells me your moral anchor is society and what it accepts and what it doesn't.
But that's how we evolve the society
All
we're
right,
in now.
but my moral anchor, my moral anchor is not suspect to man's changing his moral values. Yeah, my moral anchor is fixed. That's why it's called an anchor. It doesn't change. I have a standard that I can use anywhere I go in the world.
Sometimes you have to change, don't you?
No.
Sometimes society changes. Look,
no,
you're standing today, Hamza, with
doesn't
me.
change me, mate.
You with me, and we're talking there, right? But we're standing, as we said before, at a place of execution, okay? We no longer execute on the Tyburn tree and whatever.
Right.
Why? Because we have evolved as a society. We saw the hand drawing and quartering.
What that is, what you've just said now. Well, if this is true, why do we celebrate hand-drawn and quartering Guy Fawkes every November?
Because we're symbolising
celebrating
a historic issue to do with the Catholic.
You're celebrating the murder of a man who was hung, cut open, had his intestines pulled out while he was alive, and then cut into pieces.
Yeah,
and you celebrate it every year, and you encourage your children to celebrate it every year.
Right.
Now, for me, that's immoral.
Right.
See, ISIS have nothing on what Christians in this country did. Nothing.
But if you and I know because I like you, this is what I'm saying to you. I apologise if there was any manner issue. I didn't mean that. I was getting late for you. I'm going to start. That's why I'm starting again with you now. I'm being sensible. I want to have a chat with you next time when it's daylight as well. But for example, if you and I had that battle, I don't know, in 1600, I'd have probably drawn my sword. You'd have drawn yours, and I'd be going like this to your throat, saying, "I take you, sire," and it would have been a different type of argument. The issue is the fact we haven't got these blooming weapons, and I can come up to you an hour later and say, "Sorry, let's carry on," and be civil, is because we've evolved as a society. It's within us. So we have an innate sense of changing the way we are to make our society
I'll tell you why I know. I'll tell you why I know. Because my stance on drinking will never change.
But I've got that stance on drinking.
But yours could change.
I understand why you've got
could change. All right, so what?
But yours is from Islam, and mine is just because I know it's common sense not to drink yourself to death.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have.
Do you tell her not to drink?
Do I tell her not to drink?
Yeah.
Yes, we don't encourage it.
No, do you tell her not to?
No, because
you don't.
She's too young at the time. So
how old is she?
She's 7.
Well, she's only 7. You look too old to have a kid of 7.
I had it later in life.
How old are you?
I'm 50 old.
50 what?
Does it matter?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. No, I'm interested.
So why you are?
I'm interested.
I'm 57.
I'm interested.
I'm 57. I had my child at 50.
Yeah.
That's personal.
I'm interested though.
No, I don't know. Do you know why? Because I asked him questions. That's fine.
I wouldn't ask him questions like that.
Yeah, but everyone's their own person.
Yeah, you're going a little bit.
No, he's not going.
Well, how old are you?
You know what?
I'm 75.
You see, alhamdulillah, I'm 44. No secrets.
No, it's not a problem to me, and he should respect
No,
me.
you happen to tell me your age. You didn't care.
My kid.
In fact,
my kids are older than you.
In fact, is it true, guys?
70. My father's 72.
No,
I'm 75.
It's true, guys, that we actually started our initial discussion about asking each other's history, so don't worry about
But
that.
anyway,
It's like this.
I'm going to go eat now, so forgive me. So I'm going to make my excuses and leave.
Hamza,
You
be
see,
well.
You said to the kid there, the girl, right, about the Bible,
Yes.
that about belief.
Yes.
But yet you believe
Yes.
in the Quran.
Yes. Yes.
But what's the difference?
Okay. The Bible.
And I know that you're going to say it about Christ
No.
and the Father.
No.
Oh, go ahead then.
But see, before you can talk about Christ and the Father, you need to qualify the Bible's reliable.
You see, we all made up.
See, the Bible's not reliable. It can say what it likes.
So is the Quran.
No. If the Quran's reliable,
But it has been, most books have been changed. Because,
Really?
Yes, you know that, and I know that.
change what in what way?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know.
No, but you just made a claim, man. Come on, let's put it.
Yeah, but I know you can't, the prophet, it came from the prophet Gabriel. Right, no? Well, you say that what's the prophet Muhammad had got this
Revelation from the angel Gabriel.
from the angel Gabriel. That's what Jews
Well, that's the agent
Yes.
for me, the angel
Right.
Gabriel between Muhammad and God. Yeah.
Right, but you know today
I know what?
that if that was just a hearsay.
If it was.
Well, it has to be.
Why?
Because he didn't see the angel Gabriel.
How do you know?
Well, how do you know he did see it?
Well, you said he didn't.
Not okay. Well, I said that it was because what he said, I heard the words of the angel Gabriel.
No, he didn't say that.
It did say that.
He didn't even mention Angel Gabriel.
Well, he said he heard the words. He had those words from the angel Gabriel.
He said he had a supernatural encounter in the cave.
So it was all third party.
So it was.
It's not God speaking. There's third party in this, isn't there? It's
Yes.
always like someone said something happened.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's always my dispute with religion. That it's a third party.
So it's
a third party.
So you don't believe history taught by third
If
party?
you say in the beginning God created the heaven and earth, it's not saying in the beginning I created
we believe
the
Muhammad had a
heaven and earth.
supernatural
That's
experience in the cave.
That's the
We believe Muhammad had a supernatural experience in the cave, and later on that
So it's a third party then, isn't it?
what does that mean?
It means his man speaking.
Does that mean he didn't have an
Because
encounter in the cave?
today, you know that if you hear words, if you go to court and you hear words that you say that I heard this saying.
Well, he knows my history.
Aren't words testimony in a court of law as evidence?
Huh?
Aren't words used as evidence in a court of law?
But not hearsay,
What do you mean hearsay?
because that's what Muhammad did.
Why hearsay?
It was all hearsay.
Who told you that?
Because he then.
Okay, if let's imagine it did happen.
No disrespect, but he wasn't
Let me ask you a
around to know this
question.
either.
Let me ask you a question. If it did happen this way, how could the story have been told? If it did happen that way, how else would you expect it?
But that's what I'm saying. He can come down and say anything.
No. Let's say an angel did came to
made
Muhammad.
anything up about
Anything up about that.
Let's say an angel did come to Muhammad. Let's say it did. All right, it did. How would history record that? How would Muhammad have relayed that information any differently?
Right now, how then? So you're saying that he couldn't.
written a story just like that.
He couldn't have made a mistake in writing the
I'd
Quran.
have written the same story.
What are you on about?
Well,
I said to you a very simple
He'd
point.
have written the story.
Let's just say, you're saying because only Muhammad tells what happened in the cave, okay, it's hearsay. Okay.
It's hearsay.
Right. Now, if that thing did happen in the cave, how would that have been relayed any differently?
what do you mean? How would it be?
How would you know? What's the difference between hearsay and truth?
Hearsay is not necessarily the truth.
Could it be the truth?
It could be.
It could be.
It's not always.
All right.
It could
So how
be.
would you determine if it's true or not?
By facts.
How would you determine that in the 6th century?
In the 6th century.
I'll leave you with something to think
The
about.
6th century was
I'll leave
a
you with
different
something to think
era
about.
where people would probably
right.
have believed
But, you know, I mean,
Let me leave you with something to think about, if you don't mind, because I'm going to go now, yeah? But let me leave you with this to think about.
In the 6th century, they would have thought of things a bit differently than we do in 2017 Britain. But anyway, what I think is...
Don't begin, because I'm going to leave.
No, they were open only for belief.
I'm not beginning because he's going to leave.
No, not because he's going to speak, I'm going to leave, because I'm going to leave anyway, so there's no start to open a big dialogue, because I won't be able to honour it, because I'm leaving.
All week and I've got
Anyway,
no something this
here's
week,
something to
so-
think about. Why did the people of the time of Muhammad, when he came with this verse of the Quran, believe it was supernatural? That's what I ask. His enemies. Why did they believe that the source of the Quran is supernatural? Think about it. I will see you next time. Take care, my man.
See you, Hamza.
All the best.
Have a good week.